Mm. So taking such a big risk, what are some different ways that you needed to calculate your risk? You know, obviously you had your family involved in the marriage and whatnot, but what were some other things that went into, making sure this was a calculated risk for yourself to take?
Yeah, so from the time that I decided I wanted to do this to the time I actually left my job, it seemed like it was a quick thing, but it wasn't. It was over
Mm.
a year. And so
Wow.
at my job, when I realized I was burnt out, I said, let me commit myself to doing this for one more year, create a cushion for myself in a savings. And that's what I did. So every overtime
Okay.
shift that was available, every out of town visit that was available, I took advantage of that and I created a savings for myself. So when I got into owning the business, I knew there was going to be a lot of pressure financially to keep it
Hmm.
going, obviously. So I didn't want to be clouded by, the pressures of the financial piece. I wanted to be secure financially. So
Hmm.
definitely I created a savings from my 9 to 5. That's the irony of it. My nine to
Right.
five funded my business because I realized I needed
Absolutely.
to leave and I wanted to leave. So I stayed committed in order to be able to do it and not just
Hmm.
quitting out of frustration, right? Because that's the
Right.
first thing that comes to mind. Like, forget this job. I'm over it. I'm going to do my own thing.
Hmm.
Well, the truth is that running a business is frustrating too. And running a business, you're going to have the same types of headaches that you get, working for someone if you're frustrated in that situation. So just not recreating that same
Hmm.
frustration and being strategic and making sure that I had a savings plan. And then also
Hmm.
too understanding that if I didn't make it happen or make it work, I kept telling myself that I'm not a failure. Like, it's okay if you have to
Hmm.
go back to work, and figure this thing out. If it's something you really want to do, just know that you might not figure it out the first go round. And so that was another thing. I wasn't hard on myself. I wasn't like, you got to make this
Hmm.
work. It was like, try your best at this, see what you can do, and just know that most businesses fail in the beginning. So if you do, understand that you do have to go back to work and you'll figure it out.
Hmm.
So that was another thing,
No,
having grace with myself.
no, I love that because in this age that we live in, especially with social media and young folks, we feel like there's so much pressure to make it work on the first try. There's so much pressure to make money because somebody out there is the same age or even younger than me, making more money than me. So whatever I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing, I have to make it work. I have to go all in. And I love that you gave yourself that grace to say it's okay to fail. Because
Yeah.
again, on social media, failure is not the thing to promote. That's not what people want to show. People don't want to show the failures. They don't want to show, them going back to work. But yeah, I definitely love that about yourself for sure.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. It's a big
Yeah.
deal,
Mhm.
because social media is really what people want you to see. It's not
Yeah.
what their truth is or what the actual truth is. So you just have to be
Mhm.
careful when you're looking at that, right? So like, I put on social media when my hair's done, when my makeup's done, when
Yeah.
my
All that.
businesses are clean and I have all, everything looks great, but people don't see
Mhm.
like all of the stuff that goes behind it. So
Mhm.
someone can
Yeah.
look at an image and say, oh wow, she has all of these beauty supply stores, but they don't know that, sometimes I'm like juggling tens of thousands of dollars in payables out,
Mhm.
and a huge payroll. And there's times that things are tight and I have to maneuver things and be creative. Like all of those, I don't post that.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
We
Right.
just post when we're opening up a new store, but people don't know what goes into it. So just be really mindful of that for sure.